Good morning. Good morning to you all. How are you doing? So, where are you tuning in from? Where are you people tuning in from? Let me open it. Where are you tuning in from? Hello, I'm from Kenya. All right, Kenya, welcome. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well. So, you're having Speller, Speller from where? Kumasi, KSI. Okay, so let's see. Let me share my screen. So the whole of this week, I've not taken any trades so far. So please, if you join the stream, kindly, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please kindly do so by subscribing to the channel and give a like to the video as well. Okay, give a like to the stream as well. If you have not subscribed, and if it's possible for you to share, you can share it to your colleagues too as well. Share the link. Alpha, share the link. All right, share the link to. Alright. Okay, so you have paper chaser or for you paper chaser. Alright. So Mr. Paper Chaser, you this year dear, you have to chase, you have to catch the paper. So when are you going to catch the paper? All right, sorry for going up. All right, so let's the class or let the meeting commence or let's start. Please, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, let me know so that we start. So it's not going to, you are going to just an hour by an hour time. There's no trade. So this is the trade you are looking forward to take. Okay. This is the trade that you are looking forward to take. So you do the breakdown, but there was an upcoming news. So you are going to wait patiently. And even the time that you mostly execute trades is not yet it's not yet due. You get it? The time is not due yet. So we are going to wait for the time. So after the news has been released, that's when you are going to plan of either executing it or just letting it go. All right. So let's check the fundamentals and see. So checking the daily time frame, I said so the daily time frame has started flipping. So if not the timing, this is the point I would have. The break, when this one engulfs this one, that is when I will enter. But the timing is not favorable. I have to be patient and wait for the right time to enter the trade. You get it? I have to wait for the right time because everything aligns. It looks similar to what happened on the daily time frame on gold. So this perfect break and retest on the daily time frame is the same thing that is happening on USD CHF this morning. Okay. So it's the same price as, so this level is very strong. So if you come back to the technical aspect of this move, you come back to this technical aspect of this trade. So let's check the fundamentals and see. So today is Thursday. Okay, so the whole of this week, as I'm saying, I've not taken trade yet. So I like the kind or the type of trader I'm becoming. I'm very patient and I like my system too as well. I have to wait for the correct. I'm not saying the correct. Sometimes the correct too can fail, but I have to wait for the good setup to execute. You get it? I have to wait for the good setup to execute. That's the most important thing. Okay, so I like the trader I'm becoming. Those times I used to be executing just right, left, center, executing everything that I'll come. So I don't execute just like that. Okay, so I've been doing analysis and I've been missing a lot of trees and other stuff. Some moved before me and other stuff, but yes, still, since it doesn't meet my plan, I will just let it go to wait for the things that aligns with my plan. That's the most important thing. Okay, so if you guys can remember, yesterday I analyzed this setup exactly. I analyzed it. I said I'm just waiting for a shift in structure. Price to what? As price was around this side when during yesterday lending session, and I said I'm waiting for price to retest this one, just make a pullback, create a structure. Okay, so now the structure has been created. This bullish candle broke. As this bullish candle broke, it shifted trend towards an uptrend. Price made a retest, continuation. So I'm expecting the continuation. You get it? I'm expecting the continuation. So we are hoping maybe the GDP is not going to just mess up things. You are patiently going to wait for the GDP to be released. Maybe 5 minutes after the news has been released, everything has calmed down. That is when we are going to execute. So let's check out the upcoming news is what all this one was during the Asian session. So it is not something that concerns us. Okay, so what you are going to be looking up to or up for is GBP on the GDP. So you have to, first of all, yesterday as I explained, you need to first of all understand the meaning of GDP. So GDP simply means what? If you didn't do basic economics in school, GDP simply means gross domestic product. So it is used to measure the monetary value of goods and services produced in the confines of what? A country. Okay, the goods and services produced within a country. That is what it means by what? GDP, the monetary value of goods and services. So those goods and services, all those goods and services produced in the country, you get it? I know by now you have to know the goods and service. You have to know goods, you have to know services too as well. Okay, so the goods and services produced within a country, that is what we mean, or that is what is termed as what? GDP. Okay, so it's an economic indicator that signals whether a country, if the numbers are good, it signals that what the country is progressing. If the numbers are bad, that means what the country is what retrogressing. Okay, or the country is performing very bad. So these are the numbers. You're having 0.2, 0.1. Okay, so checking the previous numbers, the previous number was what? 0.1%, negative 0.1, and now the forecast, they are expecting positive numbers this time around. You get it? And as you said, GDP simply means what? It represents goods and services produced in a country. So if the numbers are good, that means what? The country is performing well. The country is healthy. It speaks well about the country. Okay, and as I said earlier, every currency is affiliated to a country. So if the country is doing well, if the Great Britain is doing well, that means what? The currency too is as well going to be doing well or performing well. Okay, so as now they are expecting 0.2, the previous one was 0.1, which represents what? Positive. It represents like the country is doing well. Okay, the country is doing well. And this one thing you have to understand is what? This is not the actual data. This is just an assumption. You get it? So you don't have to take it like something which is actual. This is not the actual data. The actual data hasn't been released yet. So this is just speculation. This is what traders are speculating or expecting it to happen. You get it? So since you are expecting the pound to be strong, anything that you are going to pair it with a pound, you're expecting the pound to what? Either GBP USD, you're expecting GBP USD to move up. So let's check the technical analysis too as well and see what's happening. So GBP USD, what's happening? So you can see that GBP USD is currently on this strong zone. You get it? So on this strong zone. So is this zone going to reject? I've not analyzed GBP now, so let me check. Yeah, so I think the level is valid. So this one is the invalid one now. So currently price is currently reaching a key level. You get it? On the daily time frame, price is currently reaching a key level. So what are we expecting it to happen? So is it going to bounce from this side since they are expecting positive numbers? If it happens that the numbers that they are expecting is good, then maybe we are going to be expecting something like this. Either price is going to bounce to this level, because this is a weekly time frame rejectional level. So price might get rejected over here, then what? It will move down. Okay, if it happens there, what they are expecting comes true, then this is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting price to move to this side, then it will move down. You get it? So that's what I'm expecting to happen. And we are at the same time going to be having what? So one thing you need to understand, all these news events are all economic indicators. You get it? They are all economic indicators. So it represents whether the country is progressing or whether the country is performing bad. All these ones represent. So you have to understand, first of all, understand the meaning of what? The news event. Then what? You interpret the numbers too as well. Because if you don't understand the news event, it's going to be very hard for you to interpret the numbers with the news event. So first of all, you have to understand whether the news event is what represents what impact does the news event have on the economy. Is it going to have positive impacts? Is it going to be having negative impacts on the economy? That's the most important thing. Then you interpret the figures too as well. You get it? You interpret the figures too as well. So it's very, very important. Okay, and during 132 you are going to be having core retail sales too as well. So first of all, what is core retail sales? So the core retail sales simply means it represents the goods sold at the retail level. Okay, goods sold at the retail level. So it also represents consumer spending. Okay, if retail sales move up, that means there was money in the pockets of the citizens. So if core retail sales are they are expecting positive numbers, then what, consumer, or maybe there's a lot of money in what, in the pockets of consumers, or what, the those who are demanding for the goods. I don't know how to even put it. There's money in the pockets of those people. You get it? So retail sales also speaks well, or it also talks well about the economy too as well. So with retail sales, this is what they're expecting. They're expecting 0.6, the previous numbers was 0.7, and now they're expecting 0.62 as well. So that means what, retail sales has declined. So if retail sales has declined, it speaks bad about the economy. So that means the country is also going to the currency is going to depreciate in value as well. Okay, and at the same time, we are going to be having unemployment claims. So unemployment claims simply means what, those who are not working claiming for unemployment benefit. Okay, so these are the numbers too that they're expecting. They're expecting 210 and what, 201. So with unemployment claim, they're expecting more people to claim for what, unemployed. They are expecting more people claim for unemployment benefit. You get it? So which also speaks bad about the economy. So what you are expecting is what, the dollar to also be weak. Okay, so the retail sales also represent dollar to be weak. Unemployment claim also is indicating dollar to also to be weak. Okay, so during the New York session, what I'm expecting, but core retail sales is positive. Core retail sales is positive. So mostly the core retail sales is the most impactful one. Okay, so with this one, I always say, when it comes to news events, when it comes to high impact news, you have to stay out from the markets. You get it? You have to stay out from the market because it can be deadly. Okay, so you can see core retail sales, they are expecting positive. That means the dollar to be strong. But when it comes to unemployment claim, when it comes to retail sales, they're expecting negative, as in lower numbers as compared to what, the core retail sales, which they are expecting higher numbers. So in times like this, for me, I stay out. I don't gamble. I stay out. You are not going to see me. All right, so let's see. The news hasn't been released yet. We have like 10 minutes for the news to be released. So during that time, so has it been priced in, or what? Has the GDP been priced in? So the trade that I was expecting it to happen was this trade on USD CAD. That was my even A setup for this morning. My A setup trade for this morning. But it happens, it does something different. This was the trade I was expecting it to happen this morning on USD CAD. This was the trade I was expecting to take on USD CAD, but it happens. This was what, a perfect trade setup. Price broke, it has retested. So I was expecting this candle to close maybe around this side. So you can see it would have aligned with the technical analysis at the same time with what, the fundamental analysis too as well. So I was expecting price to touch this level, then it will come to this side. But you see, even though you do your analysis, everything, but we need to wait for confirmation, as we are doing it on what, USD CHF. So for now, you've projected, you've not entered the market yet. Okay, this is just a projection, because of based on what, the confluences, based on the things that we are seeing, we are expecting price to what, move. But first of all, we have news, upcoming news. Okay, and the timing too is not favorable. So when it happens like that, what you need to do is to patiently wait for all those things to come to pass before you make a decision. Okay, you need to wait for all those things to come to. You don't have to involve yourself in the market during times like this, because one, we are going to be having high impact news, and you don't know what the high impact news is going to what resource to. So you have to first of all wait for the news to be released, wait for the right timing. Okay, then we execute. So we are waiting for the news to be released before we execute. But before that, let's see why we are expecting a buy on this trade. So with our technical analysis, price has gotten to this level. This is a rejectional level price has gotten to. So when you look carefully, you will notice that currently USD CHF is what, the trend is an uptrend at the monthly time frame. You can see it over here. Price broke, made a retest, trend continuation. You get it? So currently, the monthly time frame, even though the monthly time frame, you don't normally focus on the trend at the monthly time frame, but we mostly pay attention to what the various levels at the monthly time frame. So looking at the weekly time frame, so the weekly time frame is what an uptrend. You can see it over here. Price made high. So this is a candle that broke the structure or the trend to an uptrend. It's made low, high, low, high. Okay, so currently the trend is what an uptrend at what the trend is currently an uptrend at the weekly time frame. So if price is coming back, you can see we're expecting price to come back to these various levels. You get it? I hope you can see the levels. So this is a valid support level. This is a valid support level. So the first thing you need to do is to give a like to the stream. So the first thing you have to do is to what? This is the various levels. Okay, so I'm expecting price, if price is coming down, I'm expecting it to come to, so even though the weekly time frame candle looks like it has broken, but one thing I always say is what, since the candle hasn't closed, supposing maybe if this candle, as this candle came down, it has closed, with that we can say this level has been invalidated. But since the candle is still in section, this level is still valid. You get it? So let's move to the daily time frame. So moving to the daily time frame, what's the trend for the daily time frame? The daily time frame is currently also an uptrend. So the various confluences, we notice that the trend is what? The weekly time frame trend is an uptrend. Let's check out the daily time frame. What's the trend at the daily time frame? You can see price was at some point a downtrend. So price moved down, high, or in pullback or correction, impulse. Okay, so the moment this candle broke, so this is the candle that invalidated the structure. So the moment this candle broke and closed above this one, the structure shifted towards an uptrend. So currently the trend is what, an uptrend, made a pullback or correction, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. Okay, correction. So currently the trend is what, an uptrend. You get it? Currently the trend is an uptrend. The trend is an uptrend at the what? The trend is an uptrend at the daily time frame. The trend is an uptrend at the daily time frame. Okay, so let's identify. After identifying the trend, you need to identify the various levels. Okay, so if maybe there was an error in how the candle was about to form, you have to change it to a line chart. So the reason why we mostly move it to a line chart is what, sometimes you can see an error in the formation of the candle. So mostly if the candle opens over here, we're expecting the next candle. So if the candle close over here, we're expecting the next candle to close, the next candle to start opening at this point. If it's closed around this side, we're expecting the next candle to start opening at this point. You get me? So you have to change it to a line chart. The line chart will give you the accuracy of the various levels. Okay, so these are the various levels. So you can see we are having this level. What makes this level very strong? We are having one support over here and one support over here. And one thing you need to understand, one clue I have to give it to you, what, this is not any other time frame than the weekly, the daily time frame. You know the number of times it will take for a candle, for maybe to see a turning point at the daily time frame. It's going to take, so this one formed, it's going to take some days for you to see a turning point in the daily time frame. So if you see a turning point in the daily time frame, it is a strong level. And here is the case, we are seeing two turning points at a particular what area. You get it, one turning point, one turning point, all align at what this particular area. So this area is what a strong area of what interest. It is not one, okay, because this candle, as this bullish candle closed, it formed a support over here. So how many levels are we having? Two levels at this point. You get it, two levels at this point. So looking at the candles too, so after identifying your levels, you need to read, you need to understand the psychology of the candle. So now we've gotten our levels. So one, at the daily time frame, we have to first of all identify the trend. The trend is an uptrend. Two, look at the previous candle. How did the previous candle close? What was the size? What was the psychology behind the size? Okay, so this is how the candle formed, this is how the candle closed. So if you are reading the candle, so those who have joined the bootcamp before, I told you, or I showed you how you'll be able to how you'll be able to read candles. Okay, just watching the size of the candle, interpreting the size of the candle. So interpreting the size of this candle, you can see this long lower wick, seeing this long upper wick. You get it? So this simply represents what? Exhaustion. So exhaustion simply means someone, maybe a participant or a player, losing control in the market. So at this point, sellers were moving price down. As the price moved up, buyers have lost control in the market. You get it? Buyers have lost control in the market. So looking at the nature of the ongoing candle too. So the candle, okay, so rejection price was what? Price was moving down. So if you are having a rejection candle over here, what does it mean? It means that what? They are trying to reject what? They are trying to reject the downtrend, or they are trying to reject the sellers movement, sellers momentum. Okay, so now buyers are trying to take over the market. So trying to read this ongoing candle too as well. What is the nature of this ongoing candle too? So if you read the ongoing candle, you can see we are still having what? Some sellers exhaustion. We are having buyers momentum. If you read this one, you see the candle never formed with a wick at the top. Okay, so I'm expecting a flip of this candle to the upward for this zone, for this wick to get filled. You get it? For this wick to get filled. So I'm expecting the flip. If this candle flips bullish, I'm expecting this zone, this wick to fill. And at the same time, you're having a rejection candle over here. So you can notice that this candle tried to move up and it got rejected exactly at the level that we drew at the weekly time frame. You see how magical those levels are. So it's important you learn how to draw them. So it got rejected exactly on the level. Okay, so what's the chances that this level, if price decide to move up, this point too is not going to get rejected? Okay, so that's why I indicated that level over there. So it looks like the news has been released. Yeah, the news has been released. The news has been released. So you see the reason why. So now this is what I'm going to do. So since the news has been released, if the candle starts flipping bullish, I'll be going in for a buy. If the daily time frame start flipping, if it flips, this is a point I would love to take a buy, but the stop loss is too wide. If the daily time frame flip bullish, okay, so let's look at the H4 time frame. Yeah, so it will be an engulfing candle to at what? The H4 time frame. So when it will be like, if this one breaks, that is when I'll go in for a buy. By the stop loss, so maybe when the H1 time frame candle flip bullish, so it looks like maybe if it wants to close, okay, if it wants to close, that is when I will enter a buy. So I'm waiting for this turning around at this point. So you see, sometimes you will do the analysis, we will do everything, but you are not going to enter. You get it? So having a projection doesn't mean it is time for you to enter. So as I've done my projection doesn't mean I'm going to enter upfront. I have to look at certain confluences, look at certain things before I will enter. Okay, so I will love this one. Let me see. So I will prefer, so if you move to the H4 time frame too, you can see we have a support tool over here. You're having support too over here. So if this one engulfs, but I will prefer this candle closing bullish. If this candle close bullish, maybe to close around this side, okay, something like this. The closure of the H1 candle, I think, will be a good idea. So that will be maybe the opening of the lending session. It will be a good idea. So this will be, I will love this candle. I will prefer waiting for the H1 candle to close. Okay, so since the bearish candle is around, so you see it is trying to turn. If it's close around this point, that is when I would love to enter a buy. I would prefer waiting for the H1 candle to close, then I will target this one. Even though it is not a good risk to reward, but this trade I might hold it. Okay, I might hold it because I'm expecting this level to get broken. That's what I'm expecting it. Okay, I have to, if in case it happens, it is going in my favor, I have to get the best out of this trade. So I'm waiting for the flip. Okay, so this is the point the daily time frame is going to flip bullish. But one thing too is what the H1 candle has broken below the zones too, but we don't know. So that's why I'm saying it's better we wait for the closure. You wait for the closure of what? You wait for the closure of the H1 candle, then we enter a buy. So looking at the GBP USD2, mostly since they move opposite with USD CHF, I think if GBP USD is going to close bullish, is going to close bearish, I think it will be a best idea. But currently GBP USD2 is what, retesting on this key zone. So what's the chances that this zone is going to break? But yes, so we need to wait for confirmation. You get it? We need to wait for confirmation too as well. So GBP USD2 is having a strong levels to us at these levels. Okay, it's also having a strong levels, but mostly it moves opposite direction with USD. So you wait for confirmation. Okay, we are going to wait for confirmation. If there was no confirmation, no entry. Okay, so the kind of discipline I've developed for this game is insane, based on the experience, based on the losses. Okay, at first I remember last year you were taking some unreasonable losses. Okay, but this year we really, during the festive season, we sat down to what, to re-strategize our system. Okay, so this year we are going to, even if you take some losses, it's not going to be as much as compared to our wins. We are going to make sure our wins are going to be more than our losses. So far on the stream, you've taken one trade. On the first trade we took on 2025, you lost, but the second trade was crazy. It was massive. So we are up. Currently I've taken 2 trades for the year. So far 2 trades I've taken for the year. So I'm waiting patiently for the right thing before I will execute. Okay, I'm waiting patient. So at this point I'm waiting for this candle to flip. If it flips, okay, but if the H1 candle close, I think that would be a good idea. That would give more confirmation. Or maybe if the H1 candle close and engulfs the previous candle, bearish candle, okay, it will be a nice idea. Then the stop loss will be something like this. The risk reward doesn't look good, but as I said, this will be my break-even point. But I'll be targeting the risk reward. I'll be targeting like 1:2 point something. That's what I will be targeting. But before that, I'll wait for this candle to close bullish, as I'm saying, because majority of the confluence, majority of the trades, okay, if you look carefully, price has retested on this key level. You get it? It has made a break and retest. So if you watch gold, for instance, if you watch gold at the daily time frame, you can see the same setup happening on gold. Price broke out, made a retest, you get it, and trend continued. And it's happening the same thing to over here. Price broke out, made the returns trend continue. You get, so it's the same thing that is happening on USD CHF. And even this one is giving more confluences than what. So everything is signaling that what price is going to move up. Everything is indicating that price is going to move up. Price has currently broken out from the zone, made a retest or pullback. Okay, so that if you watch carefully to the candles too as well, you can see a lot of rejection candles. Everything is pointing up. Every single candle around this zone is pointing up. If you watch yesterday's closure of the daily candle, you can see this long exhaustion candle, and you can see the upper wick too. Okay, so if you want to see, when it comes to wicks, if you want to see who is dominating, measure the size of the upper wick and the lower wick and see which one is long. So if you measure this lower wick, if you measure this lower wick, 46 pips. If you measure this upper wicks, 18 pips. So it tells you that what sellers have lost control more than what buyers lost control. So the upper wick simply means buyers were pushing price up, and later what sellers came in and pushed price down. And if you watch the lower wick, sellers were pushing price down, later buyers came in, pushed price up. So you can see, measuring the lower wick to the upper wick, the what lower wick is more longer than what the upper wick. Okay, so it tells you that sellers have lost control in the market. And looking at the current candle too as well, if you watch carefully to the current candle, you will notice that what this candle closed with no with no wick. Okay, with no wick. So it tells you that price never made a pullback before it started moving up. So it needs to make a pullback. If you watch the previous candle, or most of the candles, what the correct formation of candle is what, when it starts, it should start with a wick at the top or the bottom, and if it is closing, it should start with what, a wick at the bottom too as well. So it simply represents the session highs and low. That's what it means by what the top wick and the bottom wick. It simply represents the top. Simply represents what the upper wick represents, what the high of the day, and the lower wick represents what the low of the day. Okay, the lowest point price reach and the highest point price reach. Okay, so at this point, the opening price is the same as what the highest point price has reached. You get it? So we need to correct this move. So I'm expecting a flip. So one thing you need to understand is the daily candle. Okay, so it might be taking some time before we can see that that impact by candle flipping towards an uptrend. So we are expecting the candle to flip up. You get it? I'm expecting the candle to flip up, but yet, even though we are projecting uptrend, but the entry is not ready yet. Okay, so now, since price, as I said, since price was able to break above this one, the chances that we need to wait for the next candle closure, which is going to give us more confluence, is high. Okay, so let's patiently wait for the candle closure above this one, then we take a buy. If it doesn't happen, we don't lose anything. We just analyze, and price never went to where we are expecting, because we will do your analysis, but yes, still you need to look for confirmation. You get it? You need to look for confirmation. So there's if no confirmation, no trade. Okay, if no confirmation, no trade. Even if you are taking out the daily time frame, there was no entry. The only point there was going to be an entry at the daily time frame is when the candle has flipped, okay, from bearish to what, bullish. That is when there will be what, so something like this, so this is the current low. So if price flip, okay, so it is currently what, bearish. So if it flips bullish like this, that we can what, enter a buy. You get me? That is when we can enter a buy. But at this point, we can't enter a buy now. There's no entry. Okay, there's no entry at this point, so we can't enter a buy. So maybe I'm expecting, maybe during the lending session, okay, maybe during the lending session, this candle is going to flip. Then maybe we can get the closure of the H1 candle. So at this point, what I'm waiting for is what? Waiting for the H1 candle, the closure of the H1 candle. If the candle closed bullish, okay, which aligns with what the break. First, if the candle closed bullish, I will wait for the break of the H4 high. If it breaks the H4 high, that means what? The ongoing candle has what? Ongoing candle structure has been invalidated to what? An uptrend. You get it? Because this candle structure is what? A downtrend, because the low of this one has been broken. And you understand that if a market is trending, if it is trending up, the higher low shouldn't be broken. It should respect, or it can be breaking, or it can be breaking the higher high, but the higher low shouldn't be broken. Okay. And when it comes to a downtrend, price can be breaking what? The lower high rather. Okay, it can be breaking the lower high, but it shouldn't break the lower low. So it's the same thing in candles. If candle structure is an uptrend, it shouldn't break what? The highs, okay, or the tips. Sorry, if candle structure is trending up, it shouldn't break the dip. Okay, so the top is what? The tip, and the down is what? The dip. So if the candle is trending up, it shouldn't break the dip. You get it? So this is how it works. This is how it works. So candle is trending up. So price can come down to this side. You get it? And price can move like this. But the low, if the candle structure, if the lows gets respected, this is the low of the lowest point price reach. This is the highest point price reach for this candle. So the lows of this one should be respected. Okay, the lows of this one should be respected. The highs can be broken at certain points. The highs can be broken, but when it comes to the lows should always get respected. But the highs can be broken at certain points, but the lows should always get respected. You get it? So that's what it means by what? Candle trending up. You get it? So at this point, the previous candle broke this low. Okay, so it tells you that candle structure is a downtrend. So when this candle starts flipping and breaks the high of this one, it means that what? Candle structure has flipped towards an uptrend at this point. You get it? Candle structure has flipped an uptrend at this point. So that's what I'm expecting it to happen. If I don't see something of that sort, I'm not going to execute. You feel me? I'm not going to execute at that point. So unless it has flipped before, I'll execute. So that's what you have to understand. We are waiting for the candle to flip. If it flips like this, that means what? The H1 candle, the chances of H1 candle breaking above this zone. So you see this previous candle has broken below this zone. So that's why you are seeing this candle moving down, because H12 is at some point is a higher, like a strong confirmation candle. Okay, so since it has been able to break this zone is very also strong. We're having daily zone over here, we're having H4 zone over here, and price has been broken below this one. So the chances of price coming to this side is very high. Okay, so when this candle starts flipping and close above this one, it gives us what? A confluence that price might be moving up. You get it? Price might be moving up. So that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting this this bearish candle to flip and move up. If it flips and moves up, that's when I'm going to enter a buy. Okay, that's when I'm going to be entering a buy. But at this point, there was no entry at this point. Okay, so let's move to USD CAD was a pair that I was looking up to trade, but now it has been invalidated. Everything was looking very perfect, like what happened at some point on USD CHF. So you can see this one, price was trending up at this point. You see how the trend line, price touched those trend line, price touched this one, price touched this one. You get it? You see how price was touching those levels. So this move, we miss it. So I was expecting, so I've been saying more often, most of the time I've been saying, if you miss a move, you don't have to cry over the moves, you have to learn from the move, and when it is definitely going to happen again, and you take advantage of that. So I was expecting this move that I missed some time ago. As I did my reanalysis, I noticed that it was a move that I could have taken advantage of. I was expecting the same thing to happen, but this time it is what, a bearish, or it is a descending trend at this point. It was a bearish trend. Price made the first move by breaking the structure, retested, continue, retested, continue. So I'm expecting this third touch. Okay, I was expecting this third touch to what, flip the candle to what, a downtrend. This was what I was expecting it to happen, but what happened? Price broke above this one, so the time of the entry wasn't there. So price decided to what, price decided to break, and now the H4 structure has been what, invalidated to an uptrend. So at this point, I'm not going to involve myself. And even if you are focusing on H4, this is just a breakout. You need to wait for a red test. Then if you are going to take the sell, a buy, that's fine. But currently, this H4 even with H4, there's no proper confirmation, because price just made a pullback. It hasn't price just made a breakout. It hasn't pulled back. So we need to expect a pullback, then we take the continuation of the trend. You get me? You take the continuation of the trend. So I was expecting price to touch at this point. If price close at this point, it would have been a strong confirmation. You get it? Because at this point, you would have what, you would have gotten maybe the daily structure level over here, trend line. You get it? Then you take a sell at this point. So it would have been a nice trade. It is similar. Okay, so if you turn this one, if you turn it, you can see, you see, it is the same. It would have been the same as what, USD CHF2 as well. If you move to USD CHF, it would have been the same trade setup. So this one too, it would have been the same as this one. You get it? But price broke above, and we never get the confirmation. Okay, so no confirmation, no trade. No confirmation, no trade. That's what we always expect it to happen. So at this point, this is what I'm expecting it to happen on USD card. Let me check USD CHF. Yeah, so it hasn't flipped yet. Unless it flips, price never get there. So with USD CHF, so if you have any question, please kindly drop it in the chat box. If you have any submission, if you have anything, kindly drop it in the chat box. So when it comes to the monthly time frame, if you look left, there's no data to your left. Okay, if you look left, there's no data to your left. There's no data to your left. If you look at the weekly time frame too, looking left at the weekly time frame, if you look left, we have this support over here. You get it? You can see the previous candle is rejecting the level exactly. You get it? The previous level is rejecting it exactly. So you need to have a game plan for trading. Okay, you need to have a game plan. What's your game plan? What are the things that you look for? So this is my game plan. Whatever I'm doing over here is my game plan. So you need to also personally, you need to have a game plan. I think trading becomes very easy and simple. If easy doesn't mean you don't lose a trade, but it becomes very simple if you really have a game plan, if you really know what you are doing. I think trading becomes very simple at this point. You get it? Trading becomes really simple at this point. So price has broken from the zone, making a red test at this point. Okay, and the trend is continuing. So the daily time frame, what's the trend for the daily time frame? You can see price has broken out, but at a certain point, this was a range. This was ranging. Okay, price broke out, pulled back, price broke, pulled back, price broke. Please hold on. So you can see we have equal highs and equal lows. Okay, price made a pullback again. So the same get it, we are having equal highs, equal lows at this point. So we term it as what? A ranging market. But watching it carefully, you will notice that what? Price is a downtrend at this point. Okay, price broke out, made a retest, trend continued. Okay, so this is the point price shifted the structure to what? A downtrend. This point was where there was a shift in structure. Okay, so there was a shift in structure at this point. There was a shift in structure at this point. When the highs and the lows got broken, there was a shift in structure. You get it? There was a shift in structure. So as there was a shift in structure, price broke out, currently making a pullback. Okay, so pulled back to the previous resistance level. So we having resistance. So it's similar to what we were seeing at what the USD CHF, the multiple what rejectional level. So we're having rejection. Okay, another rejection over here. So price pulled back over here, and its trend is continuing. You get it? And trend is continuing. So now this zone, so you see there was mismatch, or there was an error on how the candle was should be created. There was an error over here. So unless you change it to a line chart before you see the accuracy of the level. So let me check the weekly. Okay, so with the daily time frame, we're having this level over here at the daily time frame. So price is currently what? Retesting on this strong level. Okay, so if you move to the H4 time frame, to what's the trend for the H4 time frame? So at a certain point, price was trending down. You get it? Price was making lower lows, lower high, lower lows, lower high. You get it? So the moment price pulled back, so this is the point I was expecting the continuation of the trend towards to look for a sell entry. But what happened? This morning we woke up and price has broken this level to shift the trend to what? A downtrend. So weekly time frame is a downtrend, daily time frame is a downtrend, or weekly time frame is an uptrend, right? Weekly time frame is an uptrend, daily time frame is what? A downtrend. H4 time frame is what? H4 time frame is also an uptrend. So you see the inconsistency among these time frames. So normally what I do is what? I wait for two time frames to be in line. So I normally go for the pair that is having two time frames in the same direction. Those are the pairs that I normally go for. Okay, so currently weekly uptrend, daily downtrend, H4 uptrend. At this point, it's either I'm going to wait for what? The daily time, the H4 time frame to shift trend to what? A downtrend. So at what point am I going to take the sell? I'm waiting for price to shift, move down over here, pull back, then I'll take a sell. Okay, then I'll go for a sell. So at this point, the trend has shifted. Unless you are looking for what? A buy. And with the buy to the daily time frame is what? The daily time frame is currently an uptrend. So I will not love to what? Take a buy. Okay, even though it's looking good, but before you even if you are solely relying on the H4 time frame, before you take an entry, as it has broken out, I don't recommend the breakout entry. You wait for a pullback, then you take the continuation to the next zone to this side, to the next zone for price to get to this side. You get it? So that's what I'm expecting it to happen, but I'm not interested in this buy. I always go for what? A plus setup. I always go for what? The trades that make sense to me. But this one, it is not a high probability setup in my trading plan, so I will not even take such trade. You get it? So I will allow price to pull back, to break, then what? I'll go in for what? A sell. Okay, but at this point I will not be interested. This is the point, or this was the point I was interested in a sell. Okay, I was interested for price to close below this one, then I would take a sell to this side, even though the range wasn't big. But I had a strong belief that what volume when volume hits the market, we can be having what a strong momentum, or maybe a strong bullish candle, a strong bearish candle moving to this side. Okay, that's what I was expecting it to happen, but price decided to do the opposite of what I'm expecting. So there was no trade for me on USD card. I'll wait for things to align before I'll take a trade. I'm not going to rush to take a trade and lose. I want to go for what the high probability trades. So it looks like I'll trade one to align. So even if you don't get it during these times, maybe the landing open or something, you might get it after the H4 candle has closed. But at this point, we are not going to wait for the closure of the H4, since candle structure is still respecting. I just want the flip of the H4 candle, which is maybe going to be the closure of the H1 candle. That is when I will take a buy. So I'm waiting for the candle to close above this one, then I take a buy. So now this is the trade I'm looking for. I'm looking up to take. Okay, so let's look at GBP USD. So GBP USD, I think we still have an opportunity to take a sell on this one. Yeah, there's still an opportunity. This zone, we still have chances to enter this zone. 47 pips. Okay, so that one will be the closure of the H4 candle. But with the closure, I think after the candle has closed, we still have to wait for a pullback. Then we're going for a sell. Okay, no pullback, no entry. No pullback, no entry. You get it? So I think that's the point I would take a sell. So it's the analysis we did the other time is still valid. If you move to the monthly time frame, with the monthly time frame, these are the various rejectional level. These are the various rejectional level at the monthly time frame. Moving to the weekly time frame, price is currently retesting on the level. Looking at the weekly time frame too, there's a retest on the level too as well. Moving to the daily. So with the daily, if you look left, you can see we had a clean zone over here for price to fill. But looking at the daily time frame, we have this rejectional level 2 over here as well. At the daily time frame, okay, so all the time frame trend is what? A downtrend. You get it? So the monthly time frame is a downtrend, the weekly time frame is a downtrend. Okay, the daily time frame is a downtrend. So at this point, we just want some confirmation, then we're going for a sell. We just want some confirmation, then we're going for a sell. So if you move to the H4 time frame, so the H4 time frame, as I said yesterday, if you guys can remember, I said still I'm holding on to my sell bias. If you guys can remember, I said if price, the last level price is going to invalidate the structure is at this point. I don't know whether you people still remember. So I was still holding on to what? My sell bias. You get it? I was still holding on to my sell bias. So now at this point, since you still have this clean zone of 40 something pips, I'm still going to be looking for an entry. I'm still going to be looking for an entry at this point. So at this point, I'll wait for price to break out, make a retest, then what? I'll take a sell. But at this point, GBP USD looks like it's moving slow because it is currently in the middle of a range. You get it? It's currently in the middle of a range. So if this one breaks, I think USD CHF will be free to move up. Wow, it's still moving down. It's still moving down. So we've not entered it yet. We are waiting for the flip. If it flips, okay, if it flips, that's when we are going to be entering a sell. So at this point, I'm waiting for, when it comes to GBP USD, I'm waiting for the break. Okay, make some rate test on these levels, then I'll go in for what, a sell. So I think the risk reward is going to be very big. The risk reward is going to be very big because of what, how big the zone is. So the zone is around 50 pips. Currently the zone is around 50 pips. So I'm waiting for the break. After it has broken above this zone, so we're having another rejection level over here. So anytime price will get to this level, it will get rejected. You get it? It will get rejected. So this is the point I would love to take a sell. Price broken through these zones, then what, I'll take the continuation of the trend. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. So I'll keep on watching USD CHF. So it looks like, but the daily time frame needs to flip. You get it? The daily time frame definitely needs to flip. The daily time frame definitely needs to flip. So we have like 30 minutes for the landing open. So after the landing, when the landing session starts, that's when we are going to know our fit. Either price is going to what, break up, or what, just move down. We can't decide for now. So unless price start flipping before you take a sell, okay, unless price start flipping before you will take a sell. So that's what I'm looking up to. I'm looking up to take a sell on a buy on this one. That's when we are going to be taking a buy. So even though the range is not big, but I have some strong belief in this trade because of what, the daily time frame. Okay, so maybe I'm going to be expecting this zone to get filled. Okay, but I just want to get myself involved in the trade so that when it moves to this side, I'll break even, hoping price is going to move furthermore, and I'll take advantage of this side. Then I'll take advantage of 38 pips or 39 pips. I'll take advantage of it. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay, I just want to see the break, then I'll take the flip. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to be monitoring it at the H1 time frame. I just want the H1 time frame to close, then I'll take the buy on this one. So let's check out on gold and see what's popping on gold. With gold, coming. So with gold, with coming. Okay. So with gold, moving to the monthly time frame. So you need to first of all do your top-down analysis, move to the higher time frames, analyze it to the what, lowest time frame. So moving to the monthly time frame, you have this rejectional level over here. Moving to the weekly time frame. So moving to the weekly time frame, you have this rejectional level too over here. We have this rejectional level so over here. So currently price is in what? Price is in the middle of the range. Moving to the daily time frame. So what's the trend for the weekly time frame? So the trend for the weekly time frame is an uptrend. Okay, The trend is an uptrend in the sense that price made low, lower, high, low. So the moment this candle broke and closed, it turns to what? An uptrend. Okay, it turns to an uptrend. So this is the point price turns to what? An uptrend. So moving to the daily time frame. With the daily time frame, we have this rejectional level over here. Okay, so what's the trend? So if you apply your trend line, you will notice that price has been respecting this level for a very long time. You can see it yourself. The level has been respected for a very long time. So maybe on the daily time frame, we're expecting a pullback. Then price what? Will continue and fill the whole of this zone. So moving to the H4 time frame. So weekly time frame is an uptrend, daily time frame an uptrend. Okay, so moving to the H4 time frame. We are having this rejectional level over here. So if price breakout, you need to expect what? Price breakout from the zone, we need to expect a pullback. Then we take the flip or the continuation. You get it? Then we take the continuation of the trend. So looking left, you can see that we are having what? No rejectional levels over here. So the chances that gold is going to fill the whole here, no rejection, no support and resistances over here, is very high. You get it? So you can see the whole of this point or the whole of this area got filled. You get it? The whole of this area, if you move to left, because there was no rejectional level, the whole of this area got filled. You can check it out over here. The whole of this area got filled by the whole of this move. You get it? So that's how it works. So you are waiting for the closure, then what? You find an entry at this point on gold. So if I'm trading gold today, I will not be looking for a sell. Okay, you are just doing so. It's always important to know the directional bias. Okay, know where the big players are moving and you follow their footsteps. You get it? So daily time frame uptrend, H4 time frame uptrend, but at this point, no entry. Okay, so you need to wait for the closure because you're having this multiple rejection level over here. Multiple rejection. So I think this one close below. So yeah, let's say this level is not even no more valid. So this is the valid one. Okay, so we are waiting for the breakout of the candle. Then what? We take either breakout or you take a retest. It depends on what you prefer. Depends on what you prefer doing. Yeah, so now at this point I'm waiting for the flip of USD CHF. So GBP JPY. So you see, at some time we analyze this one. Just came to check and it has played out. So as the daily candle broke this one, I was expecting a pullback, and you can see definitely exactly price has did what I was expecting. Price just made a pullback and the trend is continuing. And the trend is continuing as you. So you can see it over here by tapping on what? The H4 time frame. So this week the market has been the market hasn't been smooth at my side. Is it because I've not gotten any trade so far? So the monthly time frame, we're having this rejectional level over here. But when it comes to the market, the best time to even trade the market is this when we get to like March, okay, March, April there, that's the best time to make money in the market. But this times, I even plan of not trading January, but I don't know what came over me. I realized that my strategy is picking up. That's why I even started trading January. So the market hasn't fully recovered or fully what pick up. So it will start picking up January, February. It starts picking up around March, April. Okay, the second quarter. That's when the market starts picking up. March, April, May, June, July, August. So getting to the last quarter, maybe October, November, December, and the market starts becoming slow. But the quarter 2 and the quarter 3 are the best times to trade. So prepare yourself for those times. We are going to make some money over here on the stream together. Okay, so we are waiting for those times. The market hasn't fully recovered. It hasn't fully recovered. That's how I see it. So we are waiting for March, April. That's when you see good clear movements and clear trends and other stuffs. So I'm normally a trend trader. So if I see the market consolidating, normally I don't get trade. Okay, so these are since I'm a trend trader, these are the moves that I trade. But if I see something like this consolidating, sometimes it's become very, very difficult for me to get a trade. But if the market is trending like this, okay, this is for me. But if this one is not for me, this one's when the market is in what consolidating phase, this is my own. When the market is trending, that's when I get a pullback. Then I smash it up, pullback. Then I smash it to the downward this thing. So this is not for me. The consolidating, when market is in consolidating phase, these are not for me. This is my own. You get it? So that's why I'm very sure that's why it's becoming very difficult this week for me to even get a trade. But I'm not going to give myself pressure. Okay, I'm just going to patiently wait for the right time to come, then I'll execute. I'm not going to put pressure on myself, even if things are not aligned. You see, some people force things to happen. So moving to the weekly time frame. So the weekly time frame, what's the trend at the weekly time frame? Price made high. So at certain point, price was in what? An uptrend. Okay, at certain point, price was in an uptrend. Price made high. Okay, it's made high. Sorry, this is low because this one hasn't broken yet. It made high. The moment this candle broke and closed above this one, it turns to what? An uptrend. Okay, price made a pullback. Price made what? Higher high or an impulse move. So when this candle broke and closed below this one, the whole of this move has what? Been invalidated. The uptrend has been invalidated to what? A downtrend. You get it? The uptrend has been invalidated to a downtrend because this one has been broken. The high has been broken. The low has been broken. So this is the rule. If you want to see a shift in an uptrend, then the higher high should be broken, the lower low should be broken. You get it? And if you want to see a shift in trend at the lower downtrend, the lower low should be broken, the lower high should be broken. So this is how it works: high, low, high. Okay, impulse, correction, impulse. So if you want to see, this is an uptrend market. Okay, if you want to see there has been a change, price has now shifted to a downtrend. If it breaks, as this leg has broken this one, it should come down and break this one. That is when you are going to notice that the trend has shifted to a downtrend. Okay, the trend has shifted to a downtrend, and if it is a downtrend, we are going to see lower lows, lower high, lower lows, lower high, lower low. So if you want to see a shift in trend to an uptrend, this one should be broken, this one should be broken. So at this point, it turns to an uptrend. You get it? It turns to an uptrend. So that's how it works. So at this point, the trend has shifted towards a downtrend. Price is currently making a pullback. You're expecting a continuation of the trend. You get it? You're expecting a continuation of the trend. So currently price is in what? This key level. Price is in a consolidating phase at this point. Price is in a consolidating phase at the weekly time frame. So what's the trend at the weekly time frame? The trend is what? A downtrend. Okay, so this long move is just a pullback at the weekly time frame. So moving to the daily time frame, what's the trend at the daily time frame? You will notice clearly that what the daily time frame trend to is what? A downtrend. You get it? You will notice clearly that the daily time frame trend is also a downtrend. So price made a high, pullback, impulse, correction, impulse. So currently the trend at the daily time frame is also what? A downtrend. You get it? The trend is also what? A downtrend. So weekly is a downtrend, daily is a downtrend. H4, what's the H4 trend doing? H42 is a downtrend. Okay, so this is the trend line. If you pull up your trend line, one thing you need to understand is what trend line is subjective. Some people use it at what? The body of the candles. Some people also prefer using it what? As the wick, using it at the wick of the candle. Some people too also prefer using the body. So trend line is subjective. That's why when it comes to my strategy, I don't mostly emphasize on trend lines because it's kind of subjective. Okay, it varies. So currently price is in this level. Okay, all the time frames are pointing down. So at this point, as price has gotten to this side, you just have to look for an entry, then you take a sell. Maybe a market structure. Okay, a market structure, then you take a sell. There's no structure, or unless maybe this H1 candle close below this one, then you rely solely on the H1, then you take a sell. Okay, but when it comes to trades like this, I normally prefer waiting for a bearish candle like this. So this is what I prefer. Then the next will continue. Like what happened if Brainy you are here? What happened on Euro AUD yesterday? So this is what I prefer. So let me check Euro USD. Yeah. So yesterday Euro USD was at this point when you were doing the analysis, and it's what it came down to this side. So it moved around 150 pips. Okay, so it's very simple to predict the market. So if not the news, and if not this rejection candle or this zone price, you could have even been taking advantage of this one and drove it down. Or best to, you can wait for the pullback as price got to this side. Since you know definitely that price is going to fill this range, you take an entry over here, then what, you take your profit to over here. You get it? So it is the same thing that is happening on GBP JPY too as well. It is the same thing that is happening on GBP JPY. You get it? It's the same thing. So yesterday you said you closed the trade during the so it's good you close it. So PPI could have done you dirty. CPI could have done you dirty. So today I'm looking, the trade so far is so would this trade even align for us to take the way it is moving? But you don't lose anything. If it happens, it is not going to play out. I just want a flip. So maybe if it doesn't happen during the lending session, so it all depends on how the lending open is going to be. If it doesn't happen during the lending session, maybe we can get it at the closure of the H4 candle. But when this one breaks this low, then definitely I'll wait for the H4 candle to close. Okay, definitely I'll wait for the H4 candle to close before I will take the trade. So that's when I'll wait for, because it should move up, because this one, the daily candle hasn't opened with there's no wick at the top. If you watch it well, you can see at the daily time frame. So definitely within the course of the day we can see a bullish move. By all means, we will see a bullish move. Okay, price will start flipping up. So that's when we are going to take advantage. But today too, we are going to be having retail sales. Okay, so maybe retail sales will spoil things. So tomorrow too. So this week is not, it's not a good week. We're having a lot of news events in this week. So mostly when I see a lot of news event during the lending session, I don't normally love it, because most of my winning trades are coming from the lending session. So if I see a lot of news event during the lending session, I normally don't prefer that. I normally don't prefer that. So we are going to be having retail sales. So if this one refuses to happen during the lending session, then maybe retail sales is going to spoil everything for us. Retail sales. So like how it spoiled the setup yesterday. So this week has been a great learning experience for me. I've learned a lot this week from the market. So the market is the one going to teach you lessons. Okay, I've learned a lot. My patient level has increased. So my patient level has increased, and now taking a quality trade setups. So if you start filtering your if you start polishing your system, your strategy, you start to take less trades. Okay, and those trades are going to be quality trades. Okay, so let's keep on refining. Let's keep on refining. You close prematurely. Yeah, so you have to so were you in profit when the news was about to be released? So me, mostly this is how I do it. When the news is about to be released, this is how I would have done it. So I think you would have even been stopped out. Yeah, you would have even been stopped out by the news. So this is the CPI news. Yeah, you would have even been stopped out by the news, because there was a long week over here. So this one would have even been taking you out. So it's good you even took some small profit. I hope you took some small profit, because if you were in the trade, I don't know where you entered, but if you were in the trade, you would have been stopped out by the CPI news. So mostly, if price hasn't got into my target, I will love to break even when news is about to be released. But when you are breaking even, to make sure your profit is you've moved your profit to a reasonable price. Other than that, if you get stopped out, slippage, okay, the market can slip your stop during news events. So slip your stop means what? It can just overpass your stop. Okay, it can just overpass your stop and go and close it as a price that you never intended. So news are very risky when you are even having a position running at that point. Okay, when you are even having a position running at that point. So I'm sure you would have even been stopped out by the news. So I'm waiting for the H1 candle to close. So I'm seeing a sign of rejection. But the more this candle keeps on moving down, the more the stop loss continue widen. Okay, the more the stop loss continue widen. So I'm hoping maybe this one will flip. So maybe it will be around 9 something. Maybe it will be around that time. So I'm waiting for the closure of the H1 candle. If the H1 candle close, that's when I'm going to enter a buy. Okay, because it looks good. The daily time frame needs to flip. The H4 time frame too has created this support over here. So if the H1 candle close above this one, the chances that price is going to continue up is very high. okay, the chances that price is going to continue high is very high. But if it still continue, if it's closed below, so we're having like 3 minutes, let's wait for the 3 minutes for the candle to close. If it's closed below this one, then maybe unless we wait for the next H1 candle to close above before we can make a decision. But if this candle happens to what? If this candle happens to close above this one, then the chances of price continuing high, there's a high chance that price is going to continue high. So let's wait and see what's going to happen. Okay, so if I don't get a trade today, then maybe tomorrow I might not be taking a trade, because Friday, if you lose on Friday, you can't recover unless you wait for the next week. So waiting patiently for the whole 4 days, not taking a trade, and taking a trade on Friday, losing entry, nah, I'm not going to do that. So maybe if I don't get trade today, I'll call it a week. So I'm waiting for the closure of the candle. If the H1 candle decides to close above this one, then maybe I'll wait for the next one to flip. Maybe it's going to flip. But if it's closed below, then unless maybe you wait for the next closure of the next candle, you wait for the closure of the next candle. So GBP USD. So you see GBP USD, as GBP USD is moving up, then USD CHF. But GBP USD, one thing about GBP USD is what? It has gotten to this key level. Okay, it has gotten to this key level. So when it comes to trading the high time frame, you need to be very, very patient. You need to be very, very. So this candle is giving us a signal, a sign of what? A selling exhaustion candle. Okay, it's giving us a signal of what? Seller's exhaustion, because the lower wick is longer than what? The upper wick. So maybe it can get rejected and it will continue. So you see, when you do your analysis, doesn't mean you have to enter. You have to wait for the entry. Okay, you have to wait for the entry. It is very, very important. You have to wait for the entry. Entry is very important. So some people, when you do the analysis, they think they have to enter up front. Now that's not how it works. You need to wait for certain factors, especially the time of the day. Yeah, so the bootcamp is going to start today. When are we starting mentorship? Are you part of the bootcamp? Chikudi, Rosemary, are you part of the bootcamp? Rosemary, are you part of the bootcamp? Have you registered for the bootcamp? So we are officially starting the bootcamp today. Okay, so with the bootcamp, if you come out from the bootcamp, okay, so it's going to start today. Don't worry, I'm going to teach you everything. What you need is what? Your willingness to listen. I'm going to teach you everything for you to understand. Trading is simple. I'm having people who, like, I love those who are putting in the work, are currently seeing results. So we have people like Brenny, we have people like Danny. You get it? Those people, like, they were determined. Spanzi, those people were determined. They showed up every day, and currently, I think, even if they are not making good money, so trading is in steps. It is in stages. At certain points, you will even get confused when you see the candles. That's the first stage, and it will get to some stage you understand the candles. It will get to some stage you start analyzing. It will get to some stage price will be respecting you. Analyze, and price will be respecting your analysis. The market will be respecting your analysis. It will get to some stage you will decide to go live. You will lose some time, you will win some time, you will lose some time. You would learn from those mistakes, and to get to some stage your losses is going to decline. So let me tell you, I traded for a very long time, and like, I wasn't even getting some significant returns at the end of the month, but now I'm getting returns at the end of the month, and you get it. So it is in stages. So think long term when it comes to trading. Think long term, okay? So those who paid attention, even though my journey was very long, but for you, within a year, people have started seeing results, and like you people are making good. Some people are making good money. Some people are making withdrawals and other stuffs. You get it. You are doing well because you some of them prioritize the knowledge more than the skill. So even if they are not making money, they prioritize the knowledge more than the money. So even if they are not making money, they are still putting in the work. And I can see you behind the scene. I'm watching. I can see you. Okay, especially this guy, Porty. You also showing you are doing well. Okay, you are doing well. So that's how it all starts. You need to put in the work, consist doing it every day, doing it every day, doing it every day. With time, everything is going to be secondary. Okay, so it's in stages. It's in stages. So I always say, even if you are confused at this point, just take it normal, keep on. But you have to get a mentor, get someone you'll be under. Don't try to do it yourself. With that one, it's going to take you a very long time. Okay, so don't try to do it yourself. And even if you are working self, your work shouldn't be an excuse of learning trading. Your work shouldn't be an excuse at all, unless maybe you are not passionate. If you are really passionate about it, your work shouldn't be an excuse. Why should your work be an excuse? You analyze before you go to work. Before you go to work, you have to analyze. Maybe break time, you just check the chat. Okay, you can analyze. If you're having a lunch, you can be analyzing. When you close from work, having some this thing, you can still be analyzing. Okay, so your work shouldn't be an excuse. Don't tell me you are working full day so you don't even get time. That's a lie. You don't prioritize it. Okay, so if you are in the boot camp and if you put in the work, I'm going to patiently, if you don't understand every single thing, if you don't understand, just ask me. I will be patient. I will patiently answer your questions one after the other. Okay, it's very simple. Just understand market structure and support and resistance. That's all. The rest you can learn it as time goes on. The timing and all those things are all what we all learned it when we keep on progressing. Okay, so a time. So it's important. If you have joined the mentorship, it's okay. If you join the boot camp, you are going to get it. Only if you are willing to learn. Okay, our strategy, I would say my strategy is like, should I say 90% or 80%? It works well. It works perfectly well. So the time is going to be 8 p.m. GMT. So if you're in Nigeria, it will be maybe 9. If you're in Kenya, that's going to be very late. It's going to be 11. Because of the timing, you get it. Because of some people are working and you have to be patiently wait for them to close from their workplace before we can start. But it will be recorded, so in case maybe the following day you can't, as the class is progressing, you can't watch it, you can watch it the following day too as well. Okay, so price never did what you were expecting, so you will still be watching it. Since it hasn't broken the low, you will still be keeping an eye on, or maybe it will play out during the retail sales. If it breaks this low, then maybe it will play out during the retail sales. So if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat box. So let's reanalyze it again. When it comes to USD CHF, I said I'm waiting for this candle to break the high of the H4. Then I'll go in for what? I'll go in for a buy. And I'll go in for a buy. I have a long-term projection for this trade. Even though the weekly time frame is a strong level that price might get rejected, but I still have a long-term projection for this trade. So yeah, so the risk reward is going to be, maybe I'll use the H1. Okay, so the time to execute is not yet due. That's what you need to understand. The time to execute it's not yet due unless this candle flip, but as it is moving down. So when it comes to trading, timing is very important. Okay, timing is very, very important. If you wait patiently for the right time, so the timing is what, maybe an active market session, that's when you get the correct move. So some of the sections are fake out sections, especially the Tokyo, and closer to the Tokyo, is it closer to the Tokyo now, the Tokyo session? Okay, maybe when you are getting close to the Tokyo session closure, when you are getting to the end of what Tokyo session, maybe around, if you are 4 a.m. GMT, 5 a.m. GMT, those moves are fake out. Okay, and sometimes it will deceive. It has deceived me some time ago. It deceived me some time ago. It used to deceive me. Price will just show up perfectly. Price will present perfect setups. I will enter during that time when the lending pre-lending session starts. Then what, the market will start pulling back. It will take me out. Okay, so I learned my lessons during those times. So now when lending opens, pre-lending session, that's when you see the real move, where price will be moving during the lending session. So the timings are very important. The timings are very important. So if this candle breaks below this one, then the candle structure has been validated. So what I will be doing is what, it's either I'll wait for the H4 candle to flip. And one thing too you have to pay attention to is what, we are going to be having retail sales and unemployment claims. This is a sensitive data. Okay, a lot of traders are looking forward to what, the release of this data. A lot of investors are looking forward for the release of this data. So a lot of people too are going to be reserved. Okay, a lot of traders are going to be reserved. A lot of major market participants are they want to see the retail sales, the outcome. Okay, whether the country is making progression or whether the country is what, performing, they are declining. You get it? So a lot of people are going to be what, reserved before the news will be released. Okay, so after maybe overlap of lending, after the overlap of lending Tokyo, that will be the next hour. If you don't see a major move, then maybe it's going to consolidate. Then retail sales is what is going to do by what, moving price to the direction that we are expecting. Other than that, so you have to wait at 9 o'clock. If you don't get trade, okay, 9 a.m. If you don't get 9 a.m. GMT, if you don't get trade, then maybe what, retail sales, and these ones are the ones that are going to move price. You get it? So 9 o'clock will be the Tokyo and what? Tokyo and what? Yeah, Tokyo lending overlap. Okay, so overlap simply means when two sessions are open at the same time. Okay, so when you're having two sessions open at the same time, so that will be when maybe we can get a U-turn and price will move up. Other than that, then maybe this will move. Maybe the move up will happen. It is going to be the retail sales, which is going to do by what, moving price. But retail sales, they're expecting the US to be doing good. Okay, so maybe we can be having a buy if the dollar is going to be doing good. If the dollar is healthy, then maybe you can be having a buy. Okay, we can be having a buy. So this one can just be a fake out move and price will continue, like what happened the other time on the pound dollar. This one, so Danny even said it's going to pull down. So this one, price moved like it is going to shift trend, and one later price just move up, back down again. You were looking forward to take a sell on this trade. You were looking forward to take a sell on this trade, but because of this candle, long candle, there was no entry. Okay, there was no entry, even though we had a direction in mind, but there was no entry on this trade. And the same thing to happen on this one too. Price just moved because of the news, so we missed this trade, we missed this opportunity. Okay, so this week's, so far these trades are the ones that, if not the news times, or if not maybe price move fast or rapidly, you would have taken advantage of this one and this one. Okay, and I think one USD CHF, even though USD CHF moved well, but I think during that time I wasn't around, so I couldn't take advantage of this one. Okay, I couldn't take advantage of this one. So far 3 trades. The analysis, the moves that moved in the direction of how I analyze the market is what, 3 trades so far. for me, according to USD CHF, GBP USD, and USD CAD. Three trade setups that I didn't take advantage of for this week. So far no trade this week. So let's see, maybe but this week too, I think, because we had a lot of news event too. On Monday, we had a lot of news. Monday was a clean day. Tuesday too was quite clean because during the learning session we had no news events. It was when during the New York session was the time that we had a news event. On Wednesday to CPI. On Thursday, currently having GDP. So Friday to tomorrow we are going to be having retail sales on what? The pound. So with all these things, you have to wait for the news to be released before you take action. So it's all about patience. So these are the times that mostly you feel like finding something to execute, and price will just stop you out there and you become more frustrated. So you just have to, if the no trade, it simply means what? A win. If you're not having a trade, just me opportunities. The pairs I trade is not giving opportunities. Okay, so I think I'm going to call it a day. So someone is saying yes, during the retail sales it will play out. Yeah, so maybe during the retail sales, that's when you are going to be seeing it. Yeah, during the retail sales. So let me check next week too. Is it going to be? So next week Monday, we are going to be having bank holiday. So that means during the New York session, we can't trade. Okay, 20th will be the time they are going to inaugurate Trump. So it will be an inauguration day. So 21st, sorry, yeah. So Tuesday we are going to be having this claimant count change has done me deadly for some time ago. Claimant count change, this news event has done deadly. So we are going to be having CPI too as well. On Wednesday we don't have news events. So retail sales too. So let's see. So Friday, wow. So next week too, we have a lot of news events. Wow. So let's see, maybe there will be an opportunity. So I'm seeing it's flipping. Okay, guys. I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to call it a session rather. So we are still watching it. If there's opportunities, there's a trade opportunity, I'll update you guys. So our projection for today is not a sell, it says a buy for today. So we are looking to take a buy, not a sell. Okay, so see you all. Thank you all. So how do you see AUDJPY? So someone is asking of AUDJPY. So AUDJPY, the monthly So I'm going to call it a day. So someone was asking I should analyze AUD fiber. So let me try and analyze it before I will leave. So moving to the daily time frame on AUD So the weekly is an uptrend, sorry, a downtrend. So price broke, made a retest, trend continue. So it's currently a downtrend. Moving to the daily time frame. So the daily time frame too is a downtrend. So at this point, this is what you have to do. What I'll do is what I'll wait for the breakout. Okay. Yeah. So I think So AUD is giving a nice opportunity. It's giving a nice opportunity. So this is how you are going to. So you have to wait for the retest. So it is currently giving the retest. Okay, price has broken out. So price has currently broken out. Okay, so I think it's giving a nice opportunity on. So this is what you would do. Okay, so this is what you do. So I will advise you wait for this candle to close. If this candle, the H4 candle close, then you take the breakout. Okay, so using the daily is 49 pips. The risk is what is going to be very high. Okay, because if you are using the H4, this is the point. Your risk is going to be very wide because the lower time frames are not even giving a appropriate structure for you to use it as your stop loss. So your stop losses will be wide on this trade, because so you have to wait for the H1 to close. Even if H1 closes, this will be the logical level you can use it as your stop loss. You get it. This point, using this one as your stop loss, 46 pips. The trade looks good, but the stop loss is not there. Okay, so for me, I would have waited for this one to close, given the retest, then I would take the flip. Okay, then I'll take the flip. So something like this. But before that, you have to wait for the H4 to close. So we have like 1 hour 37 minutes for this candle to close. After the closure, then maybe this point will be your stop loss. So 1 to 4. So I think it's not bad. So you have to wait for the closure, and when this one breaks, so something like this, then you take so this is what I'll prefer to see. But before that, I repeat, you have to wait for the bullish candle to close before. Okay, you have to wait for the bullish candle to close before. All right, guys, see you all tomorrow same time. Okay, let me check USDCHF what is doing. Yeah, so I think it's not going to happen. So now it has even been invalidated, so I'll be watching it again. So I think it's going to happen during the retail sales. That's when it's going to happen. Since they are expecting positive numbers, that's when it's going to happen. So I don't see any future in this trade. So the setup has even been invalidated. It has been invalidated, so you are waiting for the. So this one has been broken. So now candle structure is a downtrend. You get it. Candle structure is currently a downtrend because the lows has been broken. So there was no trade. One thing I noticed that this thing is not going to happen is when I realized that this is the GBP USD. So normally if I'm entering a trade on GBP USD CHF, I normally check GBP USD as my correlation. Okay, because they normally move opposite with each other. So since I noticed that this one is in a range, I realized that USD CHF might move down. Okay, so this one has been invalidated. I'm looking for a buy. So since candle structure has shifted downtrend, there was no trade. Okay, there was no trade. So what do you guys think about USD CHF? What do you guys think? So there's no trade for me. All right. So thank you all for joining today's live stream. See you all tomorrow same time. Bye.